Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Rome Total War Definitive Edition here today on the channel. We're back on the DEI Divide et Impera mod. We're playing as the Roman Republic. This is episode 2. In today's episode, Consul Quintus Aemilianus Pappus, our faction leader, is marching north against the Cisalpine Gauls towards Genoa, and our second consul, Medullinus Fullo, is heading south to deal with Syracuse and potentially the Carthaginians. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're around here with notifications on, let me know in the comments, feedback, suggestions, tips and tricks for DEI, it's all much appreciated. So, support the series and I'll do more videos. Strap yourselves in to a Roman rebuild. Essentially, we want to bring the Roman Empire to its height. So strap yourselves in for a long let's play. So at the moment, I guess technically they're not the consuls, but we're going to roleplay as that. We currently have control of the Senate, so you would imagine he would be. For example, we've got Decimus Sextus Rufus here of another faction. He is technically a praetor. Like in the unit cards, through political power, they actually go higher up. So I don't technically know that. I don't know how they've structured in DEI technically, but you'd think if we had Senate control, we were the faction leader, we would be the consul of Rome. We're currently negotiating here with Liguria. I'm trying to. It's actually the Venetti against Liguria, because I'd rather not war deck a certain faction straight up, and we've joined in. That's fantastic, because instead of just war decking people straight up and getting bad relations and sort of maybe untrustworthiness, if you have specific pacts with them, it's sometimes better to get relations with other factions joining in their war. So we're going to march up here. I'm going to go into a fortified stance, as there are 12 units and 2 ships in the Genoan garrison, 17 units with their king, and 3 outside. So we are outnumbered slightly by around about 14 units within the city. Are there any other options we could do here? I don't think an ambush stance would work. I think a straight up fortifying would do well. My cavalry is a little bit exhausted because we couldn't find proper recruits in the northern region of Arretium. But we currently have Quintus Aemilianus Pappus, the conqueror of the Etruscans, and the man that threw out Epirus from the Italian peninsula, which happened in the last episode. So it's in the turn and continue. Now, depending on what happens in the south, Carthage has been at war with Syracuse for quite some time. There is a script that can and sometimes happen when Roman military forces march into Sicily, that Carthage automatically war decks Rome. Even though we've got really good relations with them at the moment, we've got trade rights and a non-aggression, we've got to be prepared for the Punic Wars to erupt in our Let's Play. So we're coming towards the barbarian factions here now, and Liguria's pushed out against us. So they do outnumber us still. They have 3.8k, we have 2.9. We can make this work. So they outnumber us by about 1,000. Let's do a quick save. And a hard save. And let's fight this one on the fields of Genoa here today. We're not going to be able to use our famed triple axis formation in this one. We're going to have to defend the fort, but we've got arrow towers on side. Loading in now, the Battle of Genoa, 276 BC. Most of my army is made up of Principes. We have 2 units of Hastati. And we've only, actually, yeah, we've got 2 Triarii, 1 Hastati, the rest made up of Principes and mercenaries. So this fort actually doesn't look too bad. There seems to be a lot of natural rocks around it, which looks weird in a field. We've got some deployables here as well, so let's try and work and tinker with this. 2 caltrops, 1 manspike, and we've also got some walls here. We should be able to funnel the enemy wherever we want. So let's see. So there are 3 trajectories and vectors of attack. One seems to be blocked there, which is interesting. So let's move the spikes probably towards where they're going to be deploying, you would imagine that towards the front, that's where they would be. We'll try and stick some caltrops on the left and right here, but we've got arrow towers with us, and they're probably going to get 500 kills between them. We've got a tremendous amount of skirmishers, equites, and Roman cavalry. Okay. So yeah, guys, it's been quite a while. Like I said, it's been, what, 5 years since I've done a Roman DEI campaign. So let me know in the comments any tips and tricks you have. Reforms-wise, I had a little bit of research on that because I didn't actually know when that was going to happen. So around about turn 40 or 50, we officially get plebeian reforms, which I thought, which is what we were actually in, technically. But no, that's going to be a little while for that. I think between 80 to 100, it's all balanced on term time and Imperium as well. And then once you get to turn 200, 240, you end up getting the Imperial reforms. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how long it actually takes us to form the Roman Empire to its natural borders. So we'll go by 2 here. We've been using the disciplined formation. I can't recommend this enough. It is fantastic in DEI. Even with tier 1 units, they can really get swarmed up. So we're going to basically just try and stack as many as we can here. We'll bring my general to the center in his sphere of influence, trying to hit everyone. And our slingers, because I reckon what they're going to try and do is swarm the city from all angles. So we're going to have to be prepared. Disciplined is okay in the open field, but we don't have a testudo. That might be better, because as we clump up, we're going to be more so compromised to arrow fire as well. I'm also thinking of adopting Medulinus Fullo, who is, because currently the family tree isn't that big. Here is Quintus Aemilianus Pappus, of course, our faction leader and consul of Rome. He's going to be in charge of marching north to secure Cis Alpine Gaul for the Republic and the Senate, and Fullo is marching south. I wish we had a couple more family members, and maybe potentially, we had more family members than other nobles. Maybe we need to allow second sort of ranked other nobles and equites to rise up, and we can try and steal them over to my family. That's definitely a play. But I'm thinking of adopting Fullo, as Quintus doesn't have enough children to secure his house. So we obviously the patrician class in Rome, and the head of the house will try and fall with the consul as well. I wish there was sort of it's just because it's not hard-coded in Rome too. I wish there was a officer system like Total War Attila, because, for example, Sextus Rufus, he was either an equite or a part of the equite on the nobility class. He's actually gone all the way up to praetor, and I had no control about that. Alright, let's move my cavalry further back. They are currently concealed behind the back end of the fort, but we want to be able to rotate them where we can. So the Ligurians are now pushing up here, and our arrow towers are starting to fire and rip down through them. We have formed in a phalanx and defensive position where we can, and they're going to try and soften us up with their cavalry. These walls are going to block them as well, but they've actually been engulfed by fire somehow. You can destroy these barricades, which looks like some of them might be doing. But it looks like our arrow towers caught them there. Now, guys, they're a little bit bloodied and battled, but this is what's going to expose them in this fort fight. Skirmisher ability. Okay, let's speed things up and allow their reinforcements to come up. So only 4 out of the 5 of my slingers are actually skirmishing on their own volition and taking the initiative, so I might have to push them up and get the control. It looks like the Ligurians are probably going to hit me all from this other side. Depending on how well my military forces hold on this point, I might have to move them around. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Quickly, men, move out of formation and rotate to the exposed position as the barbarian Ligurians are charging through us here. And we're struggling a little bit. Our general's under attack. That's not good, because if a couple shots get off on him, we might have a civil war or succession crisis as well. I've got to keep an eye up on that. I think technically we are still in our protectorate stance. So they are struggling to actually funnel through that barricade there, which is really interesting. Men are slowly but surely trickling through, and our skirmishers are trading. I'm surprised they fell so easily into my trap. Pushing out, moving halfway, setting up a defensive position, because this army thrives in defensive, disciplined formations and stances, as you've seen in the 2 previous battles. Aggressively, excuse me, I've just woken up. Being a little bit chunky monkey in the throat. Right, what was I saying? Oh yeah, this army thrives in disciplined defensive formation. Aggressively, we're not going to be able to be too much. For example, like with our dismounted knights of the medieval era in my Swiss campaign. So we're going to have to play things cautiously, because the army build we have has really high defense but not overly too much attack. My cavalry's now rotating. Just need to make sure my skirmishers don't move away. I think it's time as well to move more additional military forces to this flank. Or position, rather. Even though they're buckling and we're in a good stance. Alright, let's try and wrap my cavalry around. They've managed to lock now their infantry with the wall and the general unit. So having the equites charge into the rear here. Okay. I thought that volley would have been better. But it's even a bit of a smoke screen as well. That as you zoom in, we can't see as we sort of zoomed out here, because I guess I have the smoke particle maybe further down. I don't know. Oh, you can see it now a little bit. But this is actually working so well. We're actually funneling them. I'm really surprised that those barricades and defensive deployables work. I try to use them as much as I can in my Total War games, but especially in the 1212 AD mod, you just get so many of them. I don't necessarily know how fruitful, proactive they really are. But the equites here are currently carving up the rear guard skirmishers. Outnumbered by 1,000, the arrow towers would take half of that. Pull back, you've just been caught here, mate. Go on, mate. Sitting there having a smoko, not even paying attention. On your break. Pull back there. Right, continue to fire into that blob there. It's really turning into a meat grinder towards the fort. I wonder if those back arrow towers are even fighting. Potentially, maybe not. Okay, they've started to wise up to my hammer and anvil equite charges. And they've actually moved up most of their skirmishers, so we're going to struggle to defeat very heavy melee infantry. Unless, this is the plan, we strike them from multiple angles. A head-on charge won't be too bad. It will knock most of them off their feet, and the rear can come finish them up. We don't want to be stayed too long in there. Oh my god, we only got like 10 or so. 5 towards the end. Right, continue to fight them, that's fine. The men are wavering. What is that? Oh, okay. So as you can see, in the bottom unit cards here. Let's have a quick little bit of an analysis on the health. As you can see, the Hastati there, which are the weaker of the Principes Triarii, have been exhausted because they were on the front, and also the mercenaries there as well. We'll try and hit them from all angles now, 3-side against these heavies. The Equites are quick, agile, medium cavalry in this early time period. The way I sort of tried to act my cavalry is sort of like medieval shock. So they're not doing too bad, but maybe I'm asking to do them... Maybe I'm asking them to do a little bit more than what they're sort of capable of doing. But so far, we're probably going to be able to take the city of Genoa with impunity. If we can wipe out this huge army here. And now the heavy, medium, and melee infantry are wavering. That's fantastic. I've decided to opt with slingers rather than the traditional Roman velites, simply because slingers are so powerful. They're even like so potent on vanilla. I remember I did a live stream ages ago on Twitch when I played an early access campaign of... Oh, the enemy general's dead, which is good. No, okay, things are nearly over now. She's nearly all over Red Rover. Now they're going to get that massive penalty. Rather swing in and try and have a crack. Anyway, yes, slingers even on vanilla, even on some of the DLCs, are just incredibly strong. They've got the range. They probably don't have the damage comparing to velites, but they have the ammunition, and that's what you really need. At the moment, we're mostly going through civic research. We'll eventually go to military. Depending on the mods and campaign, sometimes it's better off to focus on military. But I think economics is probably our best bet. Because we've got the core Italian, like, Italy's fantastic. But as we sort of push out, like, Sicily's quite poor, except for Syracuse. And Cisalpine Gaul's quite poor, except for the Venetian territory. But we're holding off against the Barbs here. And with that charge, we've lost a little bit of men. Maybe just push out against those very light missile. We managed to waver 3 there. The battle is firmly in our favour. Continue to try and skirmish up and over the fort where you can. We'll send 1 unit to chase after those skirmishers, because having one of those continually hit us in the flank is not the play. We'll drop... yeah, we've still got plenty of rallies and inspires. We don't even need to use them. Obviously, inspire allows you to keep your hold and discipline, and rally, when you start wavering, you need to throw them. But when the battle is... I'm afraid to say, it's been pretty one-sided in this. They've fallen all into my traps to optimize... Oh, okay, I gotta watch out for those. Oh, okay. Maybe a couple of them got caught there. I didn't realize that. Ironically, as I'm talking about they're falling into my traps, I'm falling into mine. We'll rotate some units out here now, because we want to try and surround them. But they really could have attacked this fort in a multiple of ways. They probably could have skirmished us out a bit more. Fortunately enough for me, normally there's 4 ways into a fort. For some reason there was only 3. I don't know, just we got lucky on the topography of this map, surely. Because there's not usually 2 big boulders on the other side there. Yeah. And they didn't even need to fight this one. I don't know why they thought they did. Maybe just numerical supremacy. But to be fair, these barbarian factions do have some of the best medium to heavy swords early on. The Gaul and barbarian, gold and iron smithing. I was about to say steel then. It's like, when did they have steel in the this period of antiquity? Bronze. Was better. Alright. They're still starting to hold on here, but they're even retreating in a small angle there. Alright, that's good. But I'd say now, another victory for the Roman Republic. Vina Vina Vici! Roma Invicta! I don't know, some of them are still trying to slowly but surely come back here. Sorry about that one, guys. I just got interrupted. I'm back. My granddad called me. Would you like to come for a walk? No, sorry, granddad. This is the Austrian one. Sorry, granddad. I'm currently conquering a tribe near your, near your... He's like, that's okay. Because he's Austrian, but it's kind of weird because he learnt English from a French person. So he's got this, like, German, Australian, French accent. It kind of throws you sometimes. I just love Napoleon. Like, you know what I mean? So I got a busy work day today. So anyway, we'll continue to conquer the Ligurians here. I just thought that literally just happened. I thought it was quite funny to share. Right, anyway, they're starting to retreat in single file now. Yeah, because the day I'm recording this is Sunday morning. I'm just woken up. But I got a full day today of conquering Rome. Sunday is my day. Right, continue to go on here. Okay, so there still seems to be 5. Even though they're trickling away, they seem to be coming back somewhat. My cavalry gets caught and they're getting a little bit exhausted. They're putting my cavalry through the absolute ringer of this one. Okay. I think it's time to push out. Sally forth, just dropped the formation. Now we charge. Now it wouldn't surprise me if the majority of our inflicted losses actually come through here. So the wall has been broken down. That worked so well. On a minor scale, it blocked in the barbarians attacking and reinforcing, like Gaius Julius Caesar in that famous Gaulish siege, which I can't think off the top of my head. Alesia, that's it! Where a young upstart, Mark Antony, fought in along with Caesar. Okay, it's the full retreat now. Yeah. Hey, victory! Right, Quintus Pappus deployed 2.9, lost 700, and Ligurians deployed 3.8 and lost 3.1. Crikey, the slingers did well along with the cavalry, and one unit of, I guess it was Principe, got 300 kills into defensive formation. We've managed to utterly quash. The young Hastati got knackered. No, that's alright. For now, we'll kill the captives. We don't want to particularly bring them back to Rome just yet. We're going to have plenty more. But the port city of Genoa is going to be really good for us once we have Cisalpine Gaul under control. The Lemuria festival has now been. The ghost of my fathers and the ancestors beyond. Cool, we got a nice little buff there. And it's 275 BC. Okay, well, after the victory against the I can't speak properly now, Ligurians of Genoa, we're going to sally forth and take the city. So let's push there. Yeah, well, there still seems to be about 3. There seems to be a lot in there. Alright, let's auto-resolve this one out. We are in winter, so we've got to push for it, man. Think of the provisions. Think of the women, the food, and the security in the winter town. We've got a couple of options here. I'm going to occupy. I don't particularly want to loot. That's a lot. Because I want to try and take Menelidunum. I want to take out the Veneti. I want to control Cisalpine Gaul as quickly as possible. Genoa has fallen, and our Imperium has gone up there as well. Liguria has been defeated. I always like taking Genoa. And yeah, the penalty's there, which is fine. Alright, let's break down the town where we can. Yeah, converting's going to take way too long. I'd rather just break it down and build a smaller thing. There's even like a mine there as well. What can we get? Maybe just some Ligurian levies as well. It's going to be a while before we can get Latin ethnic principes to Hastati there. Let's get those purple campaign movements. So we've still got Batavium, we've still got Menildunum in Cisalpine Gaul to take out. But as we push further north, the winters get harder and longer. There's still that Epirus force there. Alright, we have to deal now with the Sicilian front. But fortunately, doesn't seem to be too many there. Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. After the successful conquest with Quintus Aemilianus Pappus in the north, Medulinus Fullo, our second consul, our dual consul, has marched south with Legion 2. We have declared war upon Syracuse, and we're going to be able to take the city. We do have a secondary army further back, but now we've taken Syracuse. I think what it was to do with was Carthage. Carthage has been at war with them for so long, so they didn't even have a full stack, which is quite crazy. I actually wanted to maybe siege out Syracuse, because it's always a cool fight. We are at peace with the Carthaginians for now, but I'm always terrified about that script. I moved into Syracuse trying to get them to draw out an army. Well, I didn't know if there was some army hiding in the bushes, so we sat there for a turn, we declared war upon them, and now we've taken Syracuse. And now Fullo is a military tribune. Also, Epirus have managed to ally up with Syracuse, so we're going to be able to get rid of that small army in the boot. That's where that other army went back. So we're going to watch out for an invasion force at Apollonia. We're going to build a navy here in Syracuse. We can't because we haven't got plebeians. Oh, come on, why don't we get some Greeky boys to operate these ships? We might actually have to move that back to Taurus. I should have recruited it there. Blackmail. One of your family members is being blackmailed. Do nothing, lose the gravitas. 23 is quite a lot, but that's not too much on 73. I'd rather pay, I think, the 1.9, because I don't know, I can't remember the evaluation of that. Oh, here we go. Here's the event. Oh, we got it. Roman armies in Sicily. With Roman armies marching to Sicily, the relation between the Carthaginian and Romans has depleted. And we've got a couple rebellions we have to deal with, which is fine. But war has erupted. Yeah, so that's it. So if you march and take Syracuse, Carthage sees this as an act of aggression. Do they want peace? Man, they are tremendously bad with us. So that alliance is depleted. Oh, I thought maybe I could have taken Cisalpine Gaul or something before that. But looks like the Punic Wars has erupted. Where is Scipio? Where is Scipio Africanus? We need him. Well, I guess this is sort of the first, isn't it? Where's Scipio Aemilianus? Where is he? Anyway, Syracuse has been defeated now, though. Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. Well, I guess it's time to secure the peninsula. What? Peninsula? The island? Let's push and try and take all of it. Maybe, if we don't have a land border with Carthage, we might be able to take it. Alright, so another clear-cut order resolve here. My mercenaries got taken out. We shall occupy. Now, looks like they're sending an invasion force. Let's break down and repair where we can. A child is born, Marcus Aemilius Antonius. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, Mark Manca. Oh, is that Mark Antony in 271 BC? Oh, I've got to call him Mark Antony. Or Marcus Antony. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, because he's got the name of Aemilianus there. Oh, you beautiful bubba. Okay, so I've currently got Quintus in the north, repairing to push against Cisalpine Gaul. We've got a navy now here in Syracuse. I've skipped a little bit ahead. Fullo has 2 armies. Carthage still don't want peace. But what we're actually going to do here, because we've got a lot of rebellions. Now, you might be thinking, you got to sort out this rebellion problem. It's actually fine. We can use it as a sort of farming initiative. Like, we're going to, especially on this difficulty, you can thrive and embrace your rebellions. And we're going to be able to get our gravitas and overall levels up here. We want to try and push further up. Tribune's daughter, one of the noble daughters, has proven herself as a mediator between the patricians and the plebeians. Okay, we can hire her or we can get political favour. I don't particularly think we need another daughter because we've already got Fullo and Papas. Yeah, maybe refuse. Because we don't particularly need her. And we couldn't even marry her off into my family just yet anyway. So, let's refuse. We've still got rebellions going out, which is fine. Oh, my protection is wavering. But, like I said, these rebellions aren't even an issue. I do know that housing your... The thing is, there's a fine line in DEI because you can house your garrison, you can house your army in the city where you get a big negative debuff. However, you also need to stay in the city to get boosted replenishment if you haven't gone into that field just yet. So we're sort of just embracing our rebellions and grinding them up with my family members as we're slowly trying to conquer Sicily here now, and we're going to be able to have the entire island under our control. So Medulinus Fullo is the conqueror of Sicily, so he's really going strong into the Italian campaign. Once I finish with Ces Alpine Gaul, we'll pivot and move Quintus Aemilianus maybe to Sardinia and Corsica, while Fullo tries to hit Carthage. But they still don't want peace. I do know we have those negative diplomatic buffs, which I still think was a sound strategy. I wanted the farming and the other buffs, and as we're at Rome, we're gonna really anger most of the known world because you get the great power penalty eventually and in expansionism. So I'd rather embrace it early because it's going to later happen to us. If you want to be more of a passive Roman, it could work. Okay guys, welcome to the top of the turn. So this is where we currently stand. We have Sicily under our control. Carthage really hasn't sent any forces to help out. We're still dealing with these rebellions. The garrison in Syracuse is fine. I'm just sort of waiting to repel any Carthaginian force that comes up here. They're sort of pivoting and hanging around Sicily, but we're currently massively getting Fullo leveled up. And we also have Sextus down here as well with Legion 3. So we currently have 3 full legions in operation. And we've also got an admiral here as well with Cossius. So you can try and build that up because we're going to have to naval invade Carthage. I do know that we get bad public order here, but it's fine because I like to level up my generals. Okay, up in the north here now, Quintus is going to open another front. And we've also got Legion 4 here as well. 3 full stacks, 4 legions in operation. The one in Genoa is only, what, 10 or so strong. So we're in a really good position here in 273 BC. We've got some additional upgrades here. But these rebellions are allowing us to rapidly go up in our military and command doctrine. Alright, let's end the turn and continue. Yeah, they seem to be sort of pivoting around. They haven't hit us at any point. Alright, welcome to the top of the turn. It's summer 273. And the Carthaginians, you'd think they'd hit us here somewhere. They seem to just be pivoting and hanging around the wings of the hippocampus, and they've got a full stack here as well. Because you forget how big the garrison in Syracuse is, along with the navy. Also, sitting between the mountains and the two cities, it's going to drag in any garrison here. Pushing towards the north, Massalia is on the border, which you've got to watch out for. But we've got relatively good relations with the Hellenic tribes. So this is how much Rome has grown as well, which is fantastic to see. And we've done a lot in today's episode. Right, I could have very well ended it there, but you know what? I think we'll do one last fight. Let's war deck the Incerberus and take Menelidunum for Rome. Menelidunum is probably like... maybe it's the Latinization. Fuck. Of Medellin, or whatever it is in the north. So, we've currently made Marcus Antonius our heir for now. It's going to take quite some time for him to come of age. So, I think... yeah, what I'm going to have to do is... yeah, I'm probably going to have to adopt Fullo. So, we're still secure in the south. I don't necessarily sure what Carthage is doing. We do need to replenish, repair, and sort of hold Sicily. I would kind of like peace, to be honest. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close, because Carthage have a lot of puppets. The Massalii, but they are at war with a couple as well. I would like to be a little bit stronger, but that's alright. We'll send Quintus Aemilianus Pappus, consul of Rome, our faction leader further north. Yeah, I think we'll declare war upon Incerberus now, because they've got no allies. We can straight up war deck them. We're going to be able to crush this small army here before pushing towards the city. So that's now gone. And now that should be a little bit towards our favour. They were in my territory because they were helping out with Genoan rebels, which was a little bit foolish of them. But I think adopting Fullo is probably the play, because then we control his fantastic children and stuff. I might adopt him, and it's not unrealistic as well. Pappus to secure his dynasty and reign. They're both of the patrician class. I'm sure he already sees him as a son. And yeah, would have more security and guarantee in our family tree. But there'll be essentially two branches, because I should be able to control his family tree anyway. Right, so we'll try and move everyone over here. I'm happy with the army builds there, otherwise. So we've got a couple of options. We could go into a fort stance and maybe try and drag them out. Okay, I think this is the play. Alright. This is what I've decided, because I've found the room here. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the weaker army to the bridge. Then, with the full stack with Quintus Aemilianus Pappus, with Legion 1, we're going to move them into an ambushing stance. So, they're going to see us posturing on the border. Hopefully they move out, because there's a full stack sitting in... that's a really large barbarian city. Once again, if we can fight on the defensive, it'd be more beneficial for me. So it goes through like Hellenic, the barbarian factions in the end turn timer seem to be more towards the end here. Okay, so the Incerberus are still coming up, because I'm pretty sure they're right next to Genoa on the end turn time. Come on. Please fall into my trap. Come on. Easy does it. The Incerberus have activated my trap card. Well, okay, so they got 4.7 in that. That is a tremendous auto-resolve. That's nearly 95 to 5. Oh, a decisive victory at 80%. Well, settings, we've fought the Ligurian Barbs. Yeah, I think I might auto-resolve this one, because we might actually have a better resolve. Because if we actually run down there, I don't know if we've got necessarily the aggressive sort of military attack strength. Yeah, I'm going to auto-resolve this one. I don't believe that the AI fell for that one. That was that was a textbook ambush play there. We did lose one unit of Triaria, which is a shame. But we're going to be able to knock out a tremendous chunk of their army. And we should be able to push north, take the city, and call it Menelidunum. Okay, a new political election. That's fine. We're currently in autumn now, into 73. Your army was found. Oh, we got another son, Gannicus. Was that Vespasian? I think that's what that last one was. Emilianus. So we got another son as well. So it looks like the line of Pappus, and we'll try and give them as many consulships as we can. So he's lost his army movement. That's fine. You've now moved up here. Oh, it was just blocked. Okay. We're going to have to allow Legion 4 here to march forward. No, I'd rather... Yeah, I've changed my mind. I'm going to give... I could have let him do it, but I've changed my mind because even though we're probably going to lose more men, I can't really afford to give them the gravitas and the level up because he's a faction leader of someone else. Oh! Okay. That hurts me. That hurts me seeing those equites go. But it's worth not having a civil war in the future, of course. They're only level 2, and that's the base recruitment of equites. We did lose some Triarii. So guys, unfortunately on that note, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching episode 2 of the Total War Rome 2 DEI Divide et Impera Emperor Edition Let's Play. In the next episode, we're going to be looking towards Carthage and invading potentially North Africa and Sardinia and Corsica. We've taken out Liguria, Syracuse, and Carthage stronghold in Sicily. I'm surprised that they didn't react quickly. They sort of... They kind of like smashed up Syracuse. They left and ran. And they didn't have many armies to hold. It was only garrisons. And now they've just been hovering around the sea because they know an amphibious attack is going to be costly. Maybe it might be the same. It's going to be interesting how this Punic War plays out under the dual consulship of Quintus Aemilianus Pappus and Medulinus Fullo. Stay tuned for more videos on the channel. We've also probably got to take out the Veneti as well in the next episode so we can control assess our playing goal. But let me know feedback and suggestions, tips and tricks for DEI. Unfortunately guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you'd like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, all in the description below. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.